Ois Beis. V'hinei al yidei b'chinas boinoich nimshach b'chinas v'rav sholom. It says al tikrei boinoich elo boinoich. So that when we say there is boinoich, those who build Hamshocha to Malchus, like we explained before, through the level of Yerushalayim, to the level of Eitzek HaTorah, that brings about V'rav Sholem. Normally, how you translate the word V'rav Sholem means a lot of peace. The Alter Rebbe is teaching now, we make V'rav Sholem. We make from Rav, from the many, which is the Klippa Ace of Rav, we make from it Sholem. It's not V'rav Sholem, but V'rav Sholem. Shem B'chinas V'rav, from the level of V'rav, Nase Sholem, that you make from it Sholem. V'zeu, and that's why Shanigina B'tevas V'rav Hutipcha. The cantillation, the trop, on the word V'ra is a tipcha. Tipcha means a stop. So sheyi and befura should move on be'omrei. So then it articulates and it's understood when you say V'rav should be heavily in atzma. It's a stop by itself. V'rav, that's the sholem. Kiyadua b'tam niginas hatipcha shu havdolos usim inyan. As known in the trop, when you say the tipcha, it's a stop. It separates at the end of the subject. So therefore, it's v'rav, and then the rav becomes sholem. Had it not been for the trop of the tipcha that would separate, I'm assuming the kavona is spelled with two vavs, right? One vav. But technically, the word kavona needs another vav in it. But okay, but over here it had, I think so, but I don't know. Then it would be together with Sholem. It would be Rav Sholem, Kipshutoi. That would mean live the simple Dainu Rav Sholem Rav. But now the Pirush is Rav in Bifnei Atzma. Who's the Rav? We say by Esav. Esav said Yeshli Rav. Rav means a lot. This is Pirud. Hainu Bechinas Esav Tura de Pruda. That's the level of Esav, which is mountains of separation, which is Rishus Harabim, public domain. Not a place which is designated for Yechidah Shalom or Rishus Yochid for Hashem. So we take the level of Rav, the level of Tura de Pruda, the level of Esav, and we make out of it Nasa Sholem. And the Bechinas V'Rav Zeh Nasa Sholem. She is better that he will be sorted out, the Yuchlo Bechinas HaYichud, and he will be included in the level of unity. V'zeu, and this is the meaning of Rav Lohoishia. Again, normally it means Rav Lohoishia means he helps a lot, but here we're teaching it that from the Rav becomes help, salvation, because it goes up to the Birur into the higher level. V'hinei, let's say V'hinei or V'zehu. V'hinei. But here also it's most fitting over here. V'zehu inyan osid. When it says V'hinei inyan osid chazid l'zayr, almost seems like would fitting more V'zehu. Anyways, so the inyan osid chazid li-toher. So there we say that in the future, a chazir, which is Esav, would be like mostly Chasimeno, chazir miyor, is going to become toher. The Ine Kesiv, Yecharsimeno chazir miyor. V'ha'ayin teluyahi. In the level, in the posik, in the yar, the ayin is tluyah. So the Yicharsemeno Mirashi over there teaches it's basically will be eaten up, would be consumed, or Loshen Keres, it says they have an Ezra. The stomach will be filled by the Chazir Miyar. This is like the pig of the Yar, but this is referencing Esav. Va'ayin Tluyahi, the ayin of the word Yar is hanging, meaning there is the line. You have the regular line, but the way it's written over here, it's hanging, so it's not really part of the line. It's a little higher than it. So what is the ayin? So Bechinas Zayin Tachtoines de Ema. We're talking about the 7. Ayin 7D, but those are the 7 lower levels of Bina, which basically is the Chesed through Malchus of Bina, the Ema. Over there, Sheshom Hoya Shviris HaKelim. Over there was the Shviris HaKelim in that level. The Hainu B'Shem Sag Shebebina. That is the name of Sag. The name of Sag, of the Eibusha, name of Hashem that comes to 63 is the level of Bina. That is the Zayin Melachim the Toyu. Those are the 7 kings of Toyu, which are the Melachim from Esav, which is called the Melachim the Toyu. The Pasuk counts over there the Melachim. So in the level of Bina, that's the 70 is the times 10 each of the 7. So over there was not the Shviras HaKelim, this was only in Bina. Also in the Haggadah brings down with the from his father, the also relates similar. To look it up over there, but Mashenke b'chokhma lahoyu shviras hakelim k'mashekosum yamusu v'lei b'chokhma. Misa shviras hakelim becomes in bina, not in chokhma. Not b'chokhma. There's no shvira. V'zo gamkin inyan ayin rabosi the Shema Yisrael. That is also the large ayin, just like here you have an ayin tluya, but over there you have a large ayin. In Shema Yisrael, the ayin of Shema is a large one. Ki b'bina hein atvin ravrivin. In bina they become large letters. B'hainu ki nistakin k'niskim mishuris hakelim. When it is fixed from the shuris hakelim, then it becomes a large ayin. So pirush. Shem ban, v'rapach. This is the meaning of the Shem ban, which is the birur, and the rapach. When you mevar them, and the resh peches shenichlu be zayin tachtoinus the ema, when they are included in the 7 lower levels of bina, which is the Ayin Rabosi. In addition is also the Gama Ayin, the Yar Tluya. The Ayin of the word Yar is hanging. Why? The fish achitzonim mekablim berichuk. They get like from a distance. They begin to smakiv the levona. The Sabamonim, the Ketores had 11, and then you have the level Levoina. Levoina, that is the makiv of Levoina, which is connected to the hamshocha that goes to the chitzonim through the makiv of Levoina. That's why there's 11 spices in the Ketores. By Kedusha, there's no 9 and no 11. So how do they get? They get through the 11th. The 11th level That's the makif of Levina. The Gam Pirush Yar, additional Pirush of Yar, Hainu Olam Ha'alochim. It's the world of the Malachim or Olam Ha'asiyah. Okay, that's the Miyar. In a also love the future to come, at the end of days, very spiritual days, when we will have fulfilled this. I will remove the spirit of Tumah. And then as Kolam, then as will turn around, everything will be included in Kedusha. This is Misha Mebechinas Rav V'Rav Sholem, that from the level of V'Rav, the level of Esav, basically, that's the level of Rav, Nasa Sholem. That from Rav Sheyuchlech B'Yakov Gam Makiv Anal. So also the level of the Makiv, which provides for the Klippa, will be included in Sholem. The Rav will become Sholem. This we can further understand the Liyas V'Rav Sholem. How do we get to the level that the Rav should become Sholem? This is those who built you. In other words, the Talmidei Chachamim are the builders that make Rav Sholem. Because with Davke, everything is sorted out in Chochmah. Because the Chitzonim, the Rav, doesn't nurture from the level of Chochmah. We said only in Bina, but not in Chochmah. Shenikosom Mebchinas Yar, they take from the level of Yar, Zayin Tachtenis de Ema V'Lei B'Chochmah. Lochein, Dei Chochmah, Nase Hatikun. That's why through the Chochmah, that is the Boinoich, those are the Talmidei Chachamim. The Chochmah, that brings about the Tikkun, Umebchinas Yar, Nase Ir, from a forest. That's the place of the Chitzonim, becomes a city. By Mashakosu, Apostle Oisri, like Gefen Iroi. So here we also say the word Iroi. That's just here Loshen of Ir, Loshen Ir. Mashakosu Berabbeis, Apostle Rav Lochem. So the Medrash Rabbe on the verse Rav Lochem, Pru Lochem Tzufoino, go and turn Tzufoino. So what does it say in the Medrash? Ve'ein Tzufoino elo divrei Torah. When it says go to the north, means go study Torah. Behainu. What's the connection north with the words of Torah? Kimitzofen Zohav Yasov, because it says that from the north, the gold comes from the north. What is the gold? Gold, silver is compared to Ava and Yira. Gold is Yira, and silver is love. So the north brings the level of Zohar B'chinas Yira. That's the level of Yira. And that has to do, Yira comes from Chochmah, as we say, Yiru es Hashem, or Reish is Chochmah Yiru es Hashem. So that is the level, that's why Tzufoino is Torah, this level of Torah brings also the level of is gold, is the level of north, brings Yiras Hashem, because Torah says, Anachamodim mizohav umipaz. So that's also the level of Torah is like gold. It says, Ki im ein chokhmah ein yira. So without Torah, there's no yira. That's the gold. That's the level of yira. Iker b'chinas zov And the main level of within Torah, Torah Shabbat Peh is the oral Torah. Shehi b'chinas k'mailas hazov ala kesef. That's like Zohav is greater than kesef. So in a way, the Torah Shabbat Peh is like the gold, and the written Torah, Torah Shabbat is silver. In other words, the Torah Shabbat Peh is even more valuable than the Torah Shabbat today. That the Isha, the woman, gets extra bina. Like the words of the scribes are sweeter to me. That's like Zohav more than Kesef, but they were maskal shkera nivanova. The Sofer Arei Malai Divrei Sofrim. So what is this Divrei Sofrim? Ubchinas Chochma. That's the level of Chochma. Chochma is Beriru. But Lochein, I'll think about it, but how do you get to the level of Mevarer? Chein Mizen Nimshach Shia B'chinas Rav Lochem. That's that. In other words, that brings them to the higher level. The Rav Sholem, that the Rav is Lochem. Tapuchi Zohov, the Maskiyas Kesef. The golden apples and silver, also gold and silver. But Rabbi Tzurish Parshin Vayigash, we Pirish Rashi, the Mishnah Simon Chofei Yud Aleph, Ubishalo, Chilosei, Dav Gimel Amud Aleph. What does it say that? Pirush? Raisa Sosim Vigalia. I don't know what this. Who realize that means that the Torah has both levels. It has the Zohov, the Torah Shabbat Peh, that's the Galia, and then the Torah Shabbat, that's the Sosim. Pirushu Inyan Echo or Inyan Raisa Sosim Galia. This is the idea that we say that the Torah has both the hidden and the revealed. And it's all one. Meaning hidden and revealed, but it's all one. Ki Torah Shabbat Peh Nikra Eretz Zovas Cholav Udvosh. I don't know, this is like very shorthand. I'm not sure exactly. Basically, all connected to the level. He connects Torah to the level of Chochmah, and that accomplishes the Rav to make it into Sholem. And he says it's mainly by Torah Shabbat Peh. And that's Divrei Sofrim. But it's Iker, I guess. But and that's why it brings the Rav Lochem. Torah B'chlal brings the Rav Lochem. So he's saying within Torah it's Torah Shabbat Peh, but B'chlal the Torah brings about the Rav Shloim. So David HaMelech, which represents Malchus, so he says he saw that he was a redhead with beautiful eyes. Malchus is built from Gemura, which is Admoni. That red represents Gemura. But still, im Yufei nice, beautiful eyes. Ki Gemura Za'amitis achetzis. Because true chesed is gevura. So, Valderech inyan kavamida, similar to the idea we say the kavamida, which is gevura da atikyomin. That's the gevura of atikyomin. Hamislabeshes b'moiches timo, which dresses up in moiches timo, which is talo de bedulcha, the crystal tal, ke'ein habedoilach, which is like the bedoilach, like the crystal gavan lavan. It is a white. It is a little bit color of red. That it means that through that you have the level of the amshach, the kavamida. So there is a little bit reddish over there. That's this gavna sumkis chazibah. Ba'inzer cheligimul tazriya nun aleph nun and nun vav aleph and pedalad aleph and dafresh samach beis omed beis. In order to be altikle bonoich elo bonoich. Bonoich is in order to build, and in order to bring about the Rav to Sholem, so you need to have first chila bonoich shehu bina. So first in Lavina, which is Rotzev Eshoiv Shebat Filachulu. Because here we're talking about the Rav Sholem comes through Torah. So before Torah, you have to have Bina. Bina, the Rotzev Eshoiv Shebat Filachulu, you need the Damne. And you need also Baruch Hu Bat Torah. You know how to make the Brichas out Torah. What does it mean, Baruch Hu Bat Torah? Baruch, which is Yisoid Abba. That's the element, the foundation of Abba, of Chokmah, sheyumshach b'Torah vav, to bring in Torah the vav, which is the shisha midas zachulu, which is the shisha midas. What is the he's teaching the word Baruch Hu as Baruch Vav. The Baruch is Abba. Baruch Hu is to be Mamshich, the Baruch Vav. The Mamshich the Vav, the Shisha Midas, Zo, and Gimel. So next pasuk. So this is the pasuk in Yeshaya which says, "Rav Shloim Banoich, Shalom Rav Leivis Resacha, Rav Yishalom Bechelach, Shalom Banoich, Rav Shloim Banoich." So that's the first pasuk over there. The next pasuk is B'Tznoko Tikononi Rachel Yisrael. So it says B'Tznoko Tikononi, that you will be set up through tzedakah. He calls Ubinyan HaMalchus B'Bchinas Oir Pnimi. This is all the Bin HaMalchus, huh? It says B'Bchinas Alti Oval Le'Yish. Alapay, yeah, Oir Pnimi. Alapay? Yeah. So that's B'Yamah B'Chinas Oir Pnimi. Aliyah Shmiro. But in order to be Shmira, as we say, Yishmoir Ir, to protect it. So we made actually, you had from the Yar, you made it into an Ir. As I said before, Yichar Semena Chazir Meyar, from the Rav to make Sholem, to make it into the level of to be Sakim. But then you need Shmira, you need Yishmoir Ir. Uam Shochas HaMakifim, you need to bring down the Makifim. So Shanim Shochim Al-Yidei HaTzdaka. That comes through tzedakah, rachem mechula, to bring you down. It's tzedakah, and that's tikononi. V'hamakiv doiche yinikas hachitzonim. The makiv pushes away the nourishment of the chitzonim. Vayin al posikim avay liyivna chulu yishmor ir b'yoyim daf yutes shofim at beis u'barabes b'schilas psichla de'icha zer chelik beis parshas b'ylam tes aleph truma kum samdal aleph pikud erish chavav aleph chelik aleph v'yetzik kum albes. So ani medaber b'tzedakah Rav leHishia. Ani medaber b'tzedakah. I speak with tzedakah. Rav leHishia. Pirush. Ani medaber zohi yin haTorah. I speak. That is Torah. You speak Torah. Shir dvoresh something b'ficha. That is the dibur, my words, b'ficha, zani medaber. So, so in order to get to that b'china, that it should be ani medaber. Zehu al yidei v'chol b'nayich limud Hashem. In order to be ani medaber, needs to be v'chol b'nayich limud Hashem. Achar kach, and then b'tzedakah tikoinoni. Through tzedakah that is prepared, vazai Rav leHishia. The Rav becomes leHishia. Vaina dei b'chinas v'Rav Sholem kina. That's the Rav to become Sholem. This is the Rav leHishia. And this all takes place through tzedakah. Zo zarei tzedakahs matzmech yeshuos. The Rav leHishia is through the tzedakahs, through tzedakah tikoinoni, and that brings the yeshuos, the Rav leHishia. V'ayim di Ramascha magbil l'shavis, v'ayim zirchel gimel emer peites aleph. Zo shekosu l'David Hashem, l'David Hashem oidi v'yishi mimi iro. David Yerushalayim b'china achas. David and Yerushalayim is one level. But shekosu, the pasuk says lo bacharti bi'ir.
I lost something. Maybe again I lost. After parentheses, what parenthesis finished?
So that's being Lochem Aleph Simon Ches. Uksiv, another pasuk says va'efchar b'Yerushalayim, va'efchar b'David. So it means that David and Yerushalayim are the same. So what does it mean? So what does it mean? Oiri v'yishi, v'hinei havaya oiri hainu mashenim shech b'chinas oir v'gilui. That's what comes down mamish. That comes down action agilui. B'chinas oir pnimi. And the yishi who amshachas oir makif. That's bringing the makif. He said that through bringing down the makifim, that is doicha the unikas achitzonim. So through that becomes v'rav leHishia. V'ayim izeh b'zoyer cheligimu b'midbar kuf yutas aleph u'barabes emoyer perik chof aleph. All right, let's leave it over here.